Hello ladies and gents, goblins and dwarves, welcome to another tutorial video. This one we'll be going over mist generators and taverns, I suppose, but mostly mist generators. So we'll just dive straight into that and we hopefully cover everything in good order, but in such a way that you actually understand and I don't just ratter on pointlessly. So this is our little test fort. We've had a few problems with our aquifer, so this is the reasons that looks very messy and all that stuff, but we'll deal with it when we get a chance to deal with it. Anyway, this is just a test fort. So we jump down to this layer. Yes, okay, cool. And this is where we're going to put our little tavern. So, if you have a problem with happiness, one of the best things you could do, one of the best things you can do to make your dwarves happy is a mist generator. And as you can see, we've got one that's pretty decently happy. Everyone's okay right now, but it's very early days for the fort. We have quite a lot of these that are unhappy, and that's probably more the case of the fact that they don't all have bedrooms yet because this isn't a proper fort, so I'm not too bothered about them. But we'll get there, maybe. And this mist generator is designed to help them. So we had a little problem finding finding a position where we'll be able to do this without the aquifer interfering in the design. So that's why this has all been pre-dug out. But I'll explain what I've done. So this is where we're going to have our little inn and or tavern, and this is where our dwarves are going to be going to communicate. So the first thing that we do is obviously dig it out and smooth it over, and then you can engrave it and fill it in with tables and chairs and stuff. But for now, we're just going to go to the zone. We're going to go to the meeting area, and we're going to drag it, and make sure you include your walls. Make sure you always include the walls in this, because the walls add value to the room. And dwarves will get happy thoughts and all that other stuff from it. So we click that and we're going to accept it, and we are going to go into this little plus icon and assign it, and we are going to label it an inn or tavern. Now we're going to go into this section here as well next, and you'll have a bunch of options. On the top you have all visitors welcome, you have citizens and long-term residents only, and citizens only. And for the purpose of this, we're going to keep it as citizens only for now, but maybe in the future we'll start opening up and getting visitors. But nope, for now, citizens only. The next bit you have is chests in common area, and we're going to have to build some chests because that is where our goblets and our instruments will be stored. And as you can see, this number here is settable, so we want 10 goblets, so that you can say we want 15 goblets in here actually, or something like that, We're just going to leave those numbers as they are, because that's not really the main focus, like I said. We're here for the mist generator normally, but, we'll cover this as quickly. Hopefully it's, we don't need to go into that much detail, but maybe I'll do a proper tutorial video on how to do taverns and stuff properly in the future. We're going to label a tavern keeper because these are the guys that will get the goblets out and make sure that everyone's drinking and blah 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 blah. And we're going to leave the performer role blank for now, so we don't really need any instruments. As I said before, this isn't about the tavern. One thing that we do need to sort out though is doors. So we're going to set this up properly to be a proper tavern anyway. So put some doors in, and then we are actually going to set a stockpile. And in this stockpile here, we are going to go into custom, we're going to go to food, and we're going to find drinks and plant, and we're going to set all. We're also going to go to drinks animal and set all, just in case we ever get any mead going, which I haven't actually looked to see if we've got any bumblebees upstairs on the surface, but we will, we'll leave it, we'll set it like that just in case. You never know. And then we are now going to go upstairs to our crafting. So now what we're going to need to do is we need to go to, I think it's a Dwarf workshop actually. Let's have a quick little look. Rocks and mugs. There we go. So you can have mugs, cups, or goblets, and rock is mug. So we're going to have that on repeat for now because we want a bunch of mugs made for our dwarves to drink out of. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the manager section. It's easier for me, but you can do it wherever you need to do it. I think it's all in the carpenter's workshop actually. But we're going to go here and we are going to build ourselves some corkscrews, some enormous corkscrews. And we're going to build ours out of wood, so we're going to go to the very bottom here. And we only need a few, so we'll just set 5, why not? And we're also going to need some pipe sections. So we're going to scroll down, make some wooden pipe sections, and we'll just make 5 as well. At the same time, what you also need is mechanisms. So we're going to have our mechanic, and we're going to, and as you can see, we've got plenty of these anyway, but we're going to restart rock mechanisms going, and that's that. So now we are going to press play. Another thing that you're going to need is statues, but if we go back to our stoneworker, you can see that they've been queuing up lots of statues for a long time now. So that's not really a big issue. So we give it a little bit. We're going to go down, and we can see that some guys are coming and they're starting to chill out in this location, which is fine. On that point, actually, we're going to quickly go to the work orders again, and we're going to go to here, and we're going to go table. We're going to build some tables and chairs for our little dwarvies, and we're going to just say throne, because we want them built out of rock, because chairs are made of wood. What we can do if we wanted to is to set these to be on repeat, but we're not going to bother at the time being. And we're just going to hit play and let that happen. Another thing we can do in the meanwhile is make this place even fancier than it already is, and just engrave it. And so we'll have our dwarves come down and they'll start engraving after it's been smoothed, and that will just serve to increase the value of the room even further. Dwarves, when they're nearby, if it's some particularly fancy, they'll like being there. It'll improve their mood seeing something that they think, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So we will click on this little fellow here, and we'll have a look at his thoughts page, and you can see here, he's annoyed at the lack of chairs. Okay, well, we'll try to fix that. But he was blissful dining in a great dining room. Any others that are... No, he was euphoric due to inebriation, so he was pretty happy being drunk, which, you know, coming to the tavern, that's going to be that. If we have a look through this one, Rigoth's thoughts, we can see if we can find any. She was blissful while remembering dining in the great dining room. You know, so being in these places, here we are, interested in a refined seat and a fine table, fine bed, fine door. So being next to the fine stuff, it makes them happier, you know, it makes them... You can see these memories are just popping in, you know. So it's pretty cool that they can. It's a good way to lift their mood. Essentially, is what I'm trying to get at while we wait for this to all happen and wait for the dwarves to come through. And once you've dug out your inn, the best place to do this, well, yeah, the place to do it is above your inn, which is what I've dug here. Is a room like this, and what you want is a channel, 2 blocks, and a channel, and then 2 blocks, channel, 2 blocks, channel, 2 blocks, and then so you can have a little square going here, sort of with the corners cut out into the section below. And you can see now that you've got the engraved dwarven heads through the holes, so you can see all the way down that it's all been done tip top by my little dwarven miners. Now this doesn't need to be in any way, shape, or form to be smoothed out or anything like that, so we can forget about that completely. It's not a big deal. What we're going to do now is we are going to go to the build menu, and we're going to go to furniture, and we're going to go to statue. Now, it doesn't matter which statue they choose. If you do have some sort of very high value statues that you want to be there or you don't want to be there, then you can select the material after placement and do it that way. But, you know, as it is, we don't care. And we want these statues to be like this. So 1, 1, 2, done. 1, 2, done. 1, 2, done. And now my dwarves will rush down and place these statues here. In the meantime, I'm going to have a little peek at the work orders, and we can see that some of the tables have been built, which is what we want. So we're going to go here, we're going to go to furniture, we're going to go to the tables, and we're going to place a table, place a table, place a chair. See, we can't place anymore. That's fine. And we're going to do the exact same with chairs. Chair, chair. Oh, no thrones. Another thing that we want a chest. And we don't care what material this is made out of, so it can be wood, that's fine, and they're going to make 10 of them. Yeah, that's fine. So let the carpenter do something at the same time while we're doing this, and we can see that we've got our statues placed down here. So now what we do is we go up to the level above, and we are going to check our work orders. Hopefully we can do this in one go, rather than having to cut the video straight away. I'd rather do it in one go. So machines and fluids, then you're going to hit screw pump. So this one at the top, you're going to have left to right. So, and you're going to make sort of a ring out of your screw pumps. So we're going to place this one here, and we've selected the use closest material, so I don't need to worry about that. We've got this from going from the top down, which is what we want. We're going to put this one here. See, we don't have the gear. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to pause it here, and I will be back once I've got all the equipment for the screw pumps to be placed. And it will take 2 seconds for you. Okay guys, so we have our pumps have just been constructed, which is exactly what we want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, and this is a little bit of a problem with this design, you have to pump them manually. So we're going to select them all, and we're going to select them all to pump manually. And some dwarves should rush here to do the manual pumping themselves. And just to show that this works, we're going to do this, like... And I need to unpause my video, actually. That would have been a big help. So we can see our dwarves, they're rushing, and we can see the animations have started. That's what we want. So we're also going to go here, and we're going to go into the meeting section. Not the zone section. We're going to select a water source, and we're going to put the water source here. Now we are going to accept that and turn that in. This water source. Oh, wrong one. Remove permanent. Ignore me. So we're not going to do water source. We're actually going to do pit pond. We're going to drag it, and we're going to accept it, and we're going to turn it into a pond. So we have to be a bit quick. We don't want too much water. We only want 1 bucket worth of water being dumped in here, to be honest. So we'll wait for someone to drop down with a bucket. Boom. Done. That's what we wanted to see. So we'll zoom in quickly. We're going to go into the zone section. We're going to select the pit or pond. We're going to remove this zone because we don't want them to do it again, realistically. And we're going to end. Yes, proceed. That's it. Fine. Done and dusted. So what's happened is the dwarf has dumped the water through this hole and it's hit this, the statue, which has kept it in location. So now we are going to press play and hope. The idea is that this screw pump will take this water into this section, hitting the statue, creating mist, and then at the same time this screw pump will take the water and pass it through. So press play and hopefully that's what happens. It should take a second. Not too long normally. Oh, come on, seriously? Why are you not working? Give it a little bit of time. It does take sometimes. Maybe it needs more water then, actually. So if we do pit pond and we'll do it again, we'll drag pit pond down to there again, except and we'll name it a pond. And you can see here it's not ideal to have dwarves doing it consistently, and we've just had another dump of water put through. 1 of 7. There we go. Now you can see the water's getting passed around. So we can select our pit pond and get rid of the zone permanently, and we can hit yes, proceed. So we could go down to this level here, and we'll be able to see the water hitting the statues and being generated as mist. So if we hit play, there we go, you can see our mist getting generated all over the place around here, hitting our dwarves. So if we select this dwarf here, and we can have a look, there we go. She is relieved being near to a waterfall. He hasn't been detected, the waterfall, yet. I was close to a waterfall. I'm so relieved. You know, it can help them be... They're quite happy, you know. Content being next to a waterfall. And it fills this entire room. So every time a dwarf comes here, they will be hit by this waterfall, and they'll get content thoughts, happy thoughts. If we click a few more dwarves, let's see. Delighted, contented, relieved, you know, it improves their thoughts and memories and stuff like that, and it's very, very good for them to be improve their mood. It's quite easy way of doing it. The only issue that we have is that this permanently needs dwarves pumping, and it does generate the mist up here as well, slightly sometimes as well. So what we need to do now is make it so that it's automated. So we're going to quickly pause this. We're going to stop our dwarves from pumping manually because we want them to go and be able to live their lives and eat and stuff and not get stuck here doing this consistently. So we need to come up with a method of making sure that this pump is pumping permanently. So for that we need power. Now there's various different ways of using power, but the easiest for this, I have a little bit of an issue in this fort based on the fact that there's an aquifer between the layers, but we can work through that. No problem. It'll be fun. So we're gonna click gear assemblies, and the gear assemblies are gonna be what lets us connect these pumps together. So we're gonna select this one to link this. We're gonna do this to link that, and we're gonna do this to link them all. So with these 3 gear assemblies placed, all of these screw pumps should be connected. So there we go, we press play, and now the water's been dumped here, which is fine. It's not an issue. And the gear assemblies are coming, and they're being put together, which is exactly what we want. And you can see now that if you pump one of them, I believe that all of them would start working together anyway. But we need to generate power. So we pause that so we don't lose too much time. We don't want anything, catastrophic to happen. And we need to figure out where the best place will be. So if I click this location, will this location be best? It's going to have to do, I'm afraid. It's going to have to do. So we're going to do this, and we're going to channel. And so I have finally dug through the aquifer and got all our vertical axles and gear assemblies all sorted. I will show you it in a second. I'm just waiting for watching the dwarves have finished this last little section, and once that's all starts turning... It's all just stopped. Why is it stopped? Total power 80. Total power needed 153. Okay, so maybe it's the case of we don't have enough power. I thought two windmills would be enough for it, but I'll show you this quickly. So the idea is these pumps are all connected by the gear assemblies. Then this horizontal axle system takes the power all the way up through the aquifer layer, avoiding the rest of the fort as much as we can to here. And we can see our windmills are generating power as best as they can. It mustn't be enough, however. So if we go into machines and fluids again, and we're going to build another windmill, we'll build 2 more windmills. It's probably just the case of it has to turn so many axles and horizontal gear assemblies and stuff like that. So once these have been built, the best thing to do as well will be to sort of block this off in such a way that nothing will be able to get through here to attack my dwarves. And because, as we can see, this is essentially an entrance to the fort, which I'm actually going to cover up now, so we don't want anything coming in that direction. We're just going to put a wall there, which is fine. And now we can see the gear assemblies are all turning once again now that we've got enough power. So hopefully it's working all the way to the bottom. If we go through this, down, 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 da, 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 and our gear assemblies are working, and there's no mist being generated, however, because of the fact that the water has been dried up and we've got a dusting of mud. So we need to do what we did again before. We go to this area, go to pit and pond, select the 2, accept and designate it as a pond, and wait until they come running along with their buckets, throwing water in there, and then the pumps are taking the water and throwing it around. One doesn't seem to be enough, so we'll just wait for a couple of seconds for the second one to come. I think 2 buckets full, there we go, 2 buckets full tends to be enough, and it starts generating the mist for us, which is what we are seeing here, and a lot of it is being generated down here as well. So if we select this fellow, we can see that she is relieved being near a waterfall. What about this one? Hasn't been detected the waterfall yet. This fellow is content being near a waterfall, so it's exactly the same as what we saw before, guys. So yeah, it was a little bit of a roundabout way we did it quite a way, but the generating the power proved to be a little bit roundabout, but we did it, we succeeded. The aquifer got in the way, but we managed it and we pushed through. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this has helped and explained things correctly. And oops, actually, that's one thing you need to do. Stop them from putting water in as much as more water. We don't want them doing that. So you can get rid of the ozone after that as well. Forgot about that. Never mind. But it is a successful little tavern that we've got going on over here. I managed to put the chests in as well, as we can see. If we select this now, we've got the 10 goblets that we need, which is perfect. So our guys are going to be drinking here. They're going to be under the waterfall, seeing the mist. They're going to be some very happy dwarves very soon. We can see that the numbers have decreased already. Probably in no small part to this anyway. So we are going to call it with that. Feel free to suggest things that you'd like guides on stuff, and I will I'll do my best to actually not screw up the guide as much as I can and be distracted. And we've got someone taking by a fair mood as well to deal with, which is good stuff all the time. Yeah, so feel free to like and subscribe to the video, guys. It does help. Yeah, so bye.